The senator joins us now from Washington. Before we get to that, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Kirsten Powers. Do you believe President Obama is bored? Is he? What is it that there's no urgency and that these things keep, scandals, whatever you're going to call them, keep happening and the White House doesn't seem to know anything about it? What is that?
Yeah, I would point to three things. I think the first, they have a systemic problem of governing. Again, I mean, this is a campaign that was very good at messaging, but they have no competence in terms of governing. So that's the first part of it. The second part of it, I think, is anytime an issue arises, they're more concerned about what they're going to say than what they're going to do. I mean, for them, it's an opportunity to message as opposed to an opportunity to solve it. And here's the third problem. Anytime the criticism arises from Republicans, their first reaction is not to look at it and say, well, let's see, there's some credibility here. Their first reaction is to label it or treat it as some sort of a partisan attack. So, for example, I've been in the Senate now 3.5 years. A significant amount of my constituent casework are complaints about the VA. We've been hearing that and reporting that, as of other offices, for a while, and the initial reaction is always, that's just partisan Republicans trying to embarrass us. So those three things, I think, really explain why these things keep happening.
Do you believe that the president is incapable of admitting a mistake? And I'll point to Sebelius, who was in charge of the disastrous rollout for Obamacare, and now Shinseki. No doubt he's a patriot, but he's an incompetent administrator. I think that's beyond a reasonable doubt. So these people should have been replaced immediately when these bad things break. Like the Los Angeles Clipper owner, he's out of there in 2 days. When you have something like that, the leadership has to change, but it doesn't. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think, again, part of it is this initial reaction to circle the wagons and say, we're going to protect our people. This is a partisan attack. But actually,
why protect incompetent people?
Yeah, that's a good question, but let me give you an example of that. We have a bill that I have filed that allows the director to fire incompetent middle-level managers. The administration does not support that because they're more interested in protecting the sanctity of civil service than they are in being able to hold people accountable. So even if you fired Shinseki, you're still going to have a systemic problem in that agency, a very serious one now.
But at least you send a message.
Right.
Well, but at least you send a message as the leader. Right,
no, that's right. But my point
at
is,
least you send a message as the leader. Right, but the president doesn't even send any messages. He doesn't seem to be that outraged about this stuff, and it's one after the other after the other. All right,
because again, they always take these criticisms as a partisan thing, when in fact this is a very valid and legitimate complaint that people have, a very serious crisis.